Connecting four cities on debate number 2 from Kolkata on one side is left-leaning economist Prasenjit Bose. From Thiruvananthapuram taking him on is very much right-leaning social activist Rahul Easwar. Also tonight on the debate is Professor Rizwan Qaiser from the Department of History and Culture at Jamia Millia Islamia. And taking him on will be Santosh Mehrotra, Professor of Economics at JNU, who is for the invitation to Ramdev, or at least has no problems with it. But as is fitting, it's a debate concerning students. So we're going to start off with Gaurav Jha, who heads the intellectual cell of the Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, taking on Shehla Rashid Shora, who's Vice President of the JNU Students Union. And she's from the ISA. Thank you very much, Shehla and Gaurav. Let's start with you. I put one question to both of you, and then you can debate with each other, make your points. But you are both in the studios in Delhi, and I request you to have each other heard. I'll give 30 seconds to both of you to start your opening remarks. Okay, Shehla, to start with you, why are you being intolerant towards Baba Ramdev? What's wrong if he comes to your campus?
See, first thing that we need to clear is that we are not opposed to his visit to the campus. If any student organization wants to call him, if any individual wants to call him, even that is welcome at JNU. It is always welcome. There is a debate culture at JNU. But what is our opposition? Our opposition is that he was being called from an official platform, and this is just part of a concerted strategy to give RSS ideologues an academic legitimacy, just like Gajendra Chauhan, just like Y. Sudarshan Rao, who has no academic credentials
to speak of,
he has been made the ICHR chief. Many of his comments that have been, right-leaning, and that is what the right wing endorses. For example, his comments on the LGBT rights, his comments on gay rights are extremely pathetic, and that is what JNU does not endorse. And I don't mean my organization or my student union, no. I mean JNU as an institution has taken progressive steps. For example, inclusion of third gender in the forms, making the anti-sexual harassment committee inclusive for LGBT, to the extent that the
Shehla, you're up in arms about Baba Ramdev. Shehla, just one counter to you. You're up in arms against Baba Ramdev. But when I look back at December 2011, Subramaniam Swamy was among the list of speakers invited for the 20th International Conference of Vedanta at that point of time. We did not see you vociferously protesting Subramaniam Swamy's inclusion. He's also a right-winger, as right-wing as they come, and you know his views on Muslims. You know his views on several issues. He's been a long-term supporter of Baba Ramdev himself. He wrote in a piece in a newspaper that an acknowledgement of Hindu ancestry should be a prerequisite for Muslims in India to have voting rights. Sure. If that is the backdrop, why didn't you contest Subramaniam Swamy in 2011?
Unfortunately, in 2011, I was neither in the campus, I was not a student at JNU, but right now, as a union representative, I feel that we should take a principled stance. So this is not a blanket opposition. For example, ABVP has invited Subramaniam Swamy, they have invited Tariq Fatah, Shazia Ilmi, even Smriti Irani has been called from an official platform. For example, the Urdu Center, they called Smriti Irani for a book launch, right? We did not oppose that. So this has to be a principled opposition. But let's say, for example, just for example, say Smriti Irani comes again, okay? So you know about our movement Occupy UGC. Say, for example, if the fellowships don't increase and then she is invited by the JNU's official platform, then we may protest against it, okay? So it's not something that we are out to do, because we also have our things to do. So it's a principled opposition based on ABCD grounds.
Okay, one sec. So let's principled opposition. Gaurav Jha, to you, and now you can counter each other. I'll just put two questions to you. When you call Baba Ramdev for a conference on Vedanta, please tell me, and tell all the people watching the news hour tonight, Gaurav, is Ramdev a yoga guru, or is he a businessman? Is he a scholar on philosophy, or is he a manufacturer of noodles? Is he known for his closeness to the BJP, or for his scholarship on Vedanta philosophy? Tell me.
Okay, Arnab. Swami Ramdev, first of all, has been invited to JNU not by ABVP but by the administration. He has been invited to a conference on Vedanta, and he being an expert on Vedanta, yogic philosophy, he has been invited. I would like to ask Ms. Shehla, if not Swami Ramdev, then who else is an eligible person for this conference? Is S.R. Gilani, is Kavita Krishnan a more eligible person? Certainly not. And secondly, Arnab, JNU is unfortunately becoming a Talibanized academic institution. Here we are finding not just Swami Ramdev has been blocked or has been blocked today, but even in the past, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was shown black flag. President Abdul Kalam entry was protested in the in the School of International Studies. Ambassadors of Israel, ambassadors of United States are not allowed.
I thought dissent was a part of. No, I'm sorry, but if you expect students to be conformists, Gaurav, I don't know what kind of student politics you follow. But I think students are meant to be dissidents by nature. No, you are saying that students must fall in line with the views of the present government.
No. Not at all. We have problems. We have problems because in School of International Studies, Foreign Policy of Israel course has been dropped. We have problems because in School of International Studies, American ambassadors are not allowed to enter. We have problems because Israeli ambassadors are not allowed. So there is a growing intolerance in Jawaharlal Nehru University, which these leftists have been ruling for past a good number of years, and they have created an atmosphere of fear, of intolerance amongst the students, amongst the faculty members, amongst everyone who tries to raise their voice. They are being silenced. They are not being allowed a voice. They are not being allowed a space for dissenting.
Okay, so Professor Qaiser.
Ramdev is being blocked.
Professor Qaiser, disagreeing loudly with you. Disagreeing loudly with you is Professor Qaiser of JNU. But do you want to respond? I think we let Shehla respond once. We let Shehla respond once to Gaurav, Professor, before, because he questioned her. He's basically saying that let Shehla respond once. Shehla, you wish to go ahead.
I think, Arnab, I just
very briefly, first of all, hang on, I'll just finish in a couple of minutes. First of all, the left has not been ruling the campus. We are a student union and we raise students' issues. Second thing, even when the left has done something wrong, it is the left that has actually criticized, that has gone ahead and criticized the left, okay? An example, a case in point can be Singur Nandigram. When Singur Nandigram happened, there were rallies in JNU by left activists. Third thing, and very important point, we have not beat up anyone, we have not abused anyone, we have not sent our trolls throughout Facebook and Twitter to abuse people who support Baba Ramdev. We have only voiced our opinions, we have written a letter in all civility, and we have given a representation to the JNU administration. Now, based on this, if the JNU administration felt, or if even Baba Ramdev felt that he should not come at this particular occasion, then then it's a victory of the silent, of the silent protest. There was no protest, in fact. It's a very civil way of protesting, of expressing dissent. On the contrary, whenever a film is screened, for example, Cast on the menu card was screened.
No, but,
so ABVP
one second. Shehla, one second. Shehla. Yeah, okay, one second. Shehla, the question is of tolerance and intolerance. Does it smack of intolerance? If someone like Ramdev is being opposed an invitation just because his views are not in sync with your, say, predominantly left-leaning views, does it smack of intolerance that someone like Ramdev is being opposed an invitation just because he does not hold an academic educational qualification and is not an academic scholar? You see, you're going to have to be open to both sides, Shehla. But I think Professor Qaiser wanted to come out in your support. The debate is open. Professor Qaiser, Santosh Mehrotra, Rahul Easwar, Prasenjit Bose, feel free to come in, starting with Professor Qaiser. Yes, Professor Qaiser, Professor Qaiser, Professor Rizwan Qaiser of Jamia Millia.
Let me tell you, a conference is not a political jamboree. Number one, there are n number of Sanskrit scholars across India. Two names that I would particularly like to mention. One is Revi Prasad Chaturvedi from Banaras Hindu University. Another is Navjivan Rastogi from Lucknow. I mean, these are the scholars who could have been called for a keynote address by Baba Ramdev. Because Radha Ramdev does not qualify to deliver a keynote address. He can deliver a political address. He is emerging as a big business tycoon.
Who decides, says Rahul Easwar? Who decides, says he? Rahul Easwar from Thiruvananthapuram taking you on.
Who are you to give certificate for that, sir? Who are you to give a certificate to Baba Ramdev? I'm afraid it's a start of a Hindu phobia, a saffron phobia from
it's not a question of being an academic.
Intellectually honest regarding this. There are two questions on this. Why are leftists intolerant?
It's just a
Why are they scared of Baba Ramdev?
To deliver a keynote address or not?
There is Islamophobia in the West. There is a saffron phobia. There is a Hindu phobia among left In India, we should be open to all religions.
Is a very simple question of scholarship.
And college is a place where you can freely debate. Why not confront Baba Ramdev? Why not challenge Baba Ramdev? Why not debate with Baba Ramdev? Why are you scared of Baba Ramdev? That's the major question. Why are you intolerant? Why are you
Prasenjit will take you on.
Why don't people call Navjeevan Rastogi?
I think first of all,
Professor
why are you guys behaving in this hysterical manner? Why are you behaving in this hysterical manner? He is shouting at the top of his voice. There is no reason to be so agitated and howling at each other. Let us have a civilized debate. Let us have a civilized debate. I think that to pose this question as one of intolerance is slightly unfair. Because it is not a question. Nobody has stopped anybody from speaking. Nobody has disrupted any meeting or anything. The question is that I think the person from the ABVP who was speaking from JNU, he said that people have been stopped. Earlier, others have been allowed to come and speak from other platforms. Here the question is, the ABVP is, I think, free in JNU to call Baba Ramdev for a meeting. And their supporters may go and listen to him. I don't think that any other organization, they may have a protest, but nobody will stop. Nobody has the right to physically stop it. Here the debate is not of tolerance.
Prosenjit, please accept that the left of JNU are becoming intolerant. Why are we not allowing Israel ambassadors? Why are we allowed?
Gaurav, 1 minute.
Let me finish my argument.
Gaurav, 1 second. No, 1 second. Okay, finish your point. Let Prasenjit finish his point. Let him finish his point, and then I'll come to you, get you in. Yeah, go on.
I think representatives of the Students' Union, as she is making it amply clear in a very reasonable manner, that they wrote to the administration saying that it is inappropriate for an academic department in an academic program to call someone who has certain regressive views which we find to be a problem. Now the administration in its good senses, if they have seen reason in this argument and they have decided to disinvite Ramdev or Baba Ramdev have decided to stay out of JNU, then how does it become a question of intolerance? It is not a question of intolerance.
I'll tell you.
Has behaved in an uncivilized manner. They have just appealed
I put this to 1 minute.
Academic function.
May I because Rahul Easwar was very aggressive in his intervening point.
You are also a student of JNU.
Rahul, 1 minute. People have a right to protest, but Rahul Easwar, 1 minute. Rahul Easwar, a minute, please. A minute, and hear me quietly. And don't force me to raise my voice, Rahul. Rahul, 1 minute. Rahul, 1 minute. Let's go beyond trying to pithy adjectives on this program tonight. My question is, first of all, Rahul, understand the argument with some element of depth. First and foremost, for your kind information, Ramdev is a yoga guru. He is not a scholar on spirituality or the Hindu faith. Be clear about it. He's a yoga guru. He can do all his yoga asanas. He is not a scholar on spirituality. He is not a scholar on the Hindu faith. The purpose of the Vedanta conference traditionally, and allow me to complete, has been to unite scholars of religion and philosophy to share their views. Now the question will be, we have a man who says that homosexuality can be cured by yoga. The man who says he runs a business. No, 1 minute, don't say this. Listen to me. He runs a business which promotes products that include treatments for mental retardation and mongoloid children. Now you call that man for a Vedanta conference, you're going to have to justify why. You can't say tomorrow you'll call anyone and everyone. You have to explain why this person is called for that. It is like calling a civil engineer for a legal conference. You wouldn't do that, and then you wouldn't turn around Professor Mehrotra. People like Professor Mehrotra wouldn't turn around and say, in the pursuit of free spirit, scientific temper, we should be calling anybody for anything. You can't call anybody for anything. So even if you were to look at it logically, Professor Mehrotra, it doesn't add up. You have your defense. You have a defense, Professor Mehrotra. Since you are actively supporting getting Baba Ramdev to campus.
Hold on. Don't
compare apples and pineapples.
Arnab.
One second, Professor Mehrotra tonight. Professor Mehrotra, please.
Arnab,
go on.
please,
Professor Mehrotra.
I request you not to put words in my mouth. I was about to say that this is a democratic country, and it was, I think, Rabindranath Tagore who said that all the windows in my house should be open and let the breezes, all the breezes from around the world should flow through. Now, if
will you call a civil engineer? You are in the Department of Economics. Will you call a civil engineer? No, one second, Professor Mehrotra. Professor Mehrotra, will you call a civil engineer or an IT professional to give a lecture on economics at JNU? And will you then say nobody's a democracy? He needs to be allowed. The fact of the matter is, why should a man whose prominence lie in the field of yoga, or far more than spirituality or philosophy, be given in such an elevated platform unless it is about proving a point? Please tell me. That's the point that is being made by Professor Rizwan Qaiser. Respond to it. Are there no better people?
If some people
are there no better? Now don't tell me yoga is spirituality.
Decided to
That's not that. Don't stretch the argument.
In their wisdom, some people had, in their wisdom, invited him, thinking that he's the Vedanta scholar. But that's their wisdom. And I'm so glad that the students, in a very civilized manner, pointed a few things out, and the organizers might have changed their mind. I'm sitting in Hyderabad at the Indian Economics Association conference, so I know only as much of the facts as you've reported to me. To me, the matter should rest here, frankly. I don't see where the issue is. We live in a democracy.
No, the issue is...
And a university is also a democratic institution and should function in a democratic manner. Sorry, go on, Arnab.
Exactly. No, my question is simply this, please. I am putting a relevant question. Why was he called in the first place? You see, I'll tell you some of the scholarly works that will be presented at the Vedanta conference. One is Emasculated Gods by Anirudh Kar of JNU. Second, India's Caste System and Vivekananda by Dr. Arup Jyoti Sharma of the Department of Philosophy at Tripura University. Is Madhu Brahman, Gist of Vedanta by Asharani Tripathi of Lucknow. Where does Ramdev fit into all of this? What scholarly work can he claim for himself on Vedanta philosophy to be speaking at such an event? Is Ramdev a prominent scholar in the field of Vedanta philosophy at all?
Confront Ramdev.
Please,
debate with Ramdev. Debate with Ramdev. Confront Ramdev. Challenge Ramdev. Why boycott Ramdev? Why ban Ramdev?
Challenge Ramdev is the answer tonight. Okay, why ban Ramdev? Challenge him, Prasenjit. Would you respond to him? Let him come in. Like in 2009 when Rahul Gandhi came to, I think, to the JNU campus and gave a lecture of democracy, then people asked Rahul Gandhi, spot on, you talk about democracy, but who put you there? Challenge Ramdev in the way that you challenge Rahul Gandhi. Prasenjit.
Yes, you're correct. But that is precisely my point. That let the ABVP or like-minded organizations called Ramdev, where there is a question-answer session. Here is a department of a university calling him for a keynote address. And all those ignorant people who are saying that question Ramdev, you can't question a person who gives a keynote address. A keynote address is delivered in a conference or such an international, big-scale academic event. A keynote address that is an honor. You bestow it upon someone who has ultimate academic authority on that subject. You call Nobel laureates for keynote addresses. Scholarly persons, and you can't question a keynote speaker. A keynote speaker comes and makes, foundational observations about a discipline. You let ABVP call, let whatever this other speaker is saying, his organization, let them call Ramdev. Let there be a debate where students of JNU would have the right to go and ask questions, precisely those questions to Ramdev. That do you think that your medicines can cure homosexuality? Do you think that,
instead of trying to ban Ramdev?
Nobody is trying to ban. The question is, there was a letter.
Why are you afraid of Baba Ramdev? You mean to say that just by one speech of Baba Ramdev, the entire leftists will get diluted?
You listen to my argument. Nobody's afraid. One is saying that he should come.
I am listening to your argument perfectly well. Don't be condescending. Don't be patronizing.
To question him. You see, same thing happened in University of Pennsylvania.
I'd like to question you.
You get your facts right.
1 second, Shehla. 1 second, please.
Do you mean to
all
say
right, gentlemen, don't get
just
personal
because
with
of one keynote address of Baba Ramdev, the entire department will leave their leftism? Why are you
I request you, gentlemen. I request you now.
Insecure
1 second. Members protested. Then they disinvited.
Okay, we have the two students back on the debate.
Across the world.
One second.
Why are you insecure about Baba Ramdev is the question.
Prasenjit and Rahul
Why are you so insecure?
Prasenjit and Rahul Easwar. Prasenjit and Rahul Easwar, I think I'd like the two student leaders to come back into the debate. But I certainly would say something tonight. That if you call Baba Ramdev and you ask Baba Ramdev to deliver a keynote, the most appropriate keynote for Baba Ramdev to address on is, how did I build a massive business? Or, for that matter, he can give a good speech on that. Secondly, he can give a very good speech on
Vedanta.
Why am I manufacturing?
That is practical
why
Vedanta.
am I? One second. He can. Are Baba, please don't speak for Baba Ramdev. He can speak on Baba blog for himself. He can come on the program and speak. My point is, you can give Baba Ramdev another subject. Why I have got into the noodle making business, right?
Okay,
or he can talk about several other suggestions. You can, but if you say, or
you mean to say that Baba Ramdev cannot speak on anything other than noodles?
I am only saying this to you. I'm only saying this to you, Rahul Easwar, and don't display your intolerance towards me on the program tonight. The question that I'm saying to you tonight is he known more as a maker of noodles and a businessman or a scholar of Vedanta philosophy? Secondly, is he known as a man who runs Patanjali Ayurveda or a scholar of Vedanta philosophy? Is he known as a man? Is he known as a man who manufactures something called Patanjali noodles or a scholar of Vedanta philosophy? Is he known as a man whose company manufactures some controversial Putra Jivik beans or a scholar of Vedanta philosophy? No. No, you need to. Why are these questions not relevant?
Why is Arnab Goswami so anti-noodles? Why are you so having hatred towards noodles? If you don't like noodles, don't have it.
No problem.
Why are you so having antipathy against noodles?
The debate is going too shallow now. If it comes down to noodles and all that.
I have nothing against noodles, please. Now, Shehla is coming into the debate. Shehla and Gaurav, please. Shehla and Gaurav.
Yeah, one second, just because I am a student representative of JNU, there are a couple of points that I would like to say through your platform. In JNU, we have a culture of the debate and discussion that we are talking about. We have a culture of post-dinner talks that Prasenjit Bose actually also referred to. And what happens in these post-dinner talks is there are speakers, we listen to them, and at the end of the discussion, there is a question-answer session which may even go on till 1 p.m. in the night, till 2 a.m. in the night, 1 a.m. in the night, and speakers actually stay there and they answer the questions. For example, even homosexuality, there have been debates and there have been people like Kavita Krishnan, they have been questioned there and they have stayed till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock answering questions of people who may be having a different view. Now, what happens in ABVP meetings, for example, is Shazia Ilmi, for example, had come to deliver a talk from the ABVP platform on gender. But we did not oppose it or anything. We listened to her very peacefully. At the end of the program, we wanted to ask a question and we were not allowed. The ABVP representatives did not allow us to ask a question.
She was in hurry. She had to leave early.
That is censorship. That is intolerance. A screening cast on the menu card, it was stopped from being screened at JNU by ABVP.
Did ABVP protest?
Who physically, who sent threat letters, they pelted stones when the Occupy UGC movement was going on. They pelted stones at us. Whenever we write something on Facebook, they abuse us. They give us rape threats, and this is across the right wing, whether this is the Islamic right wing or this is the Hindu right wing. This happens across. Whenever women put an opinion across on Facebook or Twitter, they are met with rape threats. And this ABVP and Modi supporters.
Why haven't you complained to the police if there are rape threats from ABVP?
Now,
why haven't you complained? Have you lodged a police complaint against us?
Go and complain to police.
If there are rape threats? Yes. And second, okay, Arnab, coming to the point. Arnab, coming to the point, why Swami Ramdev has been invited? First of all, there is a panel.
One point is, one minute. Gaurav, you can't turn around what Shehla Rashid Shora says and say, why haven't you complained to the police if there are rape threats? I request you.
Because we have not done anything. I challenge her.
You cannot turn around and accuse her of making up facts out there. If she's saying something, show the sensitivity with which you need to respond to that situation. I think you need to turn around and apologize to her for the cavalier manner in which you responded to her. This is not acceptable, Gaurav, on the Newshour. Don't respond to her in this cavalier manner if she's making a point.
We have not
be equally concerned about it.
Arnab, we have never done any such act.
We are deviating from the main discussion.
Arnab, there have been no such activities from ABVP activists such allegations are completely baseless.
We'll come back,
If she's alleging that there have been something done by ABVP activists, then I'm please go and file a police complaint, file a complaint with the proctor, file a complaint with the administration, because ABVP has absolutely done nothing of such sorts in the past. These are baseless allegations to defame our organization, to shame our organization, and I completely deny such things. Now coming to the subject of Baba Ramdev.
Okay,
no, I'm not playing
I'll give her a turn to respond.
Now coming to the,
I'll give her an opportunity to respond, please. No, let her respond to you, then we'll come back to you.
Now, this
you want to respond to that? You want to respond to that, Shehla? You want to respond to that?
Arnab, basically,
I'm not interested in
you want to respond to that, Shehla? You want to respond to that, Shehla?
Yeah, I am just responding to that, Arnab, very briefly. This is a very well documented fact, and I mentioned that this is across the right wing, whether that is now the Christian right wing, that is the Hindu right wing, that is the Islamic right wing. This is what happens when women post, and of course Modi supporters are part of this. Modi supporters have subjected us to the most vile abuse, and people have complained. And what has happened to those? Meena Skandaswamy has complained, the actress the singer Chinmay Shi has complained, many people have complained. This happens to us on a routine basis. How many people will we complain against? The moment you write a different point of view on Twitter, on Facebook, there are countless trolls who write proud BJP member, proud Modi supporter. They write all these things, and if any regressive
and Rahul Easwar and Rahul Easwar and Gaurav. Rahul Easwar and Gaurav. Let me say there that let it not be challenged that there are many cowardly trolls out there who hide behind the anonymity that social media provides and say, and no, whatever it is, there are enough people who lean this way or that, who unleash themselves with ferocity and with unacceptable obscenities on social media. And you don't need to be seen to be supporting any of those people by saying that take them to the police station. That's no answer to that.
Okay, anyway, Arnab, Shehla has raised a point of weight.
Let's go back to the subject at hand, which is Baba Ramdev. Gaurav, we go back to the subject at hand.
Please allow me to complete one sentence. Shehla has talked about
Gaurav,
and
I will not allow you to. I will not allow you to politicize these issues
in JNU,
which deal with gender. I will not allow you.
A professor was terminated, his service was terminated from JNU, and absolute silence from the leftist party because he happens to be an ISA sympathizer, a CPIML card holder, and that is the reason why they have maintained complete silence.
He's not an ISA
and nobody is talking a word about a professor
Can we go back to the subject at hand?
For raising a woman.
Can we go back to the subject at hand?
The GS Cash has
It is not a discussion.
Can we go back to
coming back to the discussion?
Now we go back to the subject at hand. We go back to the subject at hand, which is to do with Baba Ramdev. And one point. Now someone answer my question, and the question to you right now is, this. If someone tells you, this gentleman Baba Ramdev is basically a very successful businessman promoting Ayurveda products under his brand name, and his latest acquisition is in the area of the FMCG sector called noodles. Now you can call him on FMCG issues. You can call him for his business skills. But you can't call him for Vedanta, for God's sake. There has to be a borderline. There has to be a border. There has to be some logic in
applied Vedanta with yoga and Ayurveda. Yeah, in this conference we have got a session on applied Vedanta with yoga and Ayurveda as constituent element. So and I think
applied Vedanta. Applied Vedanta. I'm sorry. What is applied Vedanta, for God's sake? Please tell me.
And applied
practical Vedanta.
On yoga.
I've never heard something more ridiculous than that. Practical Vedanta.
Arnab, I want to come in here because I want to make
practical
Vedanta is a term by Swami Vivekananda. Practical Vedanta is a term by Swami Vivekananda.
Please don't compare Baba Ramdev to Swami Vivekananda. Please do not compare Baba Ramdev to Vivekananda, please.
Swami Vivekananda.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Rahul Easwar? What do you mean? Hold on. You answer my question. You are comparing. One second, Rahul Easwar. The fact of the matter is that you have no business comparing Ramdev to Vivekananda. You have no business comparing Ramdev to Vivekananda. Vivekananda. Don't even directly, obliquely or any other way try to do that. Answer my question. Is he more a businessman or a scholar on Vedanta? You tell me, is he a businessman or a scholar on Vedanta? You tell me, is he a businessman or a scholar on Vedanta?
Hold on.
Why can't you explain? Why, no, you, why did you, what, Rahul Easwar, Rahul Easwar, 1 minute. Is he, Rahul Easwar, in what, applied Vedanti, what is there? You tell me one thing which is there to prove his expertise on Vedanta. Where does he fit in all this? Which scholarly work can he claim for himself?
Compared Vivekananda to Ramdev.
Can Baba Ramdev, Rahul Easwar, can Baba Ramdev engage in an in-depth discourse on Vedanta philosophy with any of the people who are present on the panel? Can he engage in an in-depth discussion on Vedanta philosophy with anyone? No, you tell me whether he can or cannot. You tell me whether he can or cannot.
Just one line.
Can he or cannot? Can he indulge in an in-depth debate on Vedanta philosophy
to Ramdev. Ramdev belongs to the bhakti and karma yoga of Indian tradition. He uses yoga for physical and social cure. Nobody compared Vivekananda with Ramdev. We are only followers of Vivekananda, both Ramdev ji and me. He is using applied Vedanta
Professor Qaiser on the other side extending the debate.
Society.
Professor Rahul Easwar, there is doctor.
Arnab, I have a very simple suggestion.
Yes, please, Professor. Yeah, go on, Professor.
There is a simple suggestion. JNU itself should become a platform to debate the philosophy of Vedanta. Baba Ramdev should be one of the speakers, but on a private platform, not a university department, because he doesn't have the kind of academic background and qualification and evidence of publication where he can speak on Vedanta. I mean, do the thing that it is like, ordinary Parcharak campaign where Baba Ramdev come and deliver a speech like that. I don't think it is done. And there should be a lesson not only for JNU, for all
kind of elitist snobbery.
That when you are organizing an academic debate like that,
this is nothing elitist.
You should call it scholars.
There's nothing elitist about it. Rahul, please get your Rahul. The fact of the matter is, Rahul, there's not called elitist. This is not. No, you know the point of. 1 second, we're extending the debate. It's nothing elitist about it. You know something, Rahul Easwar. I'll tell you what is not elitist, Rahul. You have to have some sense of responsibility when you speak on the news hour. It is not elitism. Arnab. It is called being real. It is called being realistic. It is called being rational and open-minded. There are people who are talking about the contribution of Aryabhatta in the field of mathematics and astronomy. You can't put Baba Ramdev with that. There are people. Arnab, this is not a debate, for God's sake. It was a keynote speech. You can't thrust Baba Ramdev into a. You cannot thrust Baba Ramdev into a keynote speech just because you think that he curries favor with the present government. You can't, this is no way, you can't push it through the back door. Ask anyone tonight, can Baba Ramdev talk about the delineation of...
Discuss with him.
He cannot debate. He has no proven back record. You have every, please understand, education is not elitist. Sorry, Rahul Easwar, I think we cannot denigrate our nation's culture.
Don't ban Baba Ramdev.
What is politically
Don't ban Baba Ramdev.
1 minute, don't go on about banning Baba Ramdev. And Gaurav, be quiet 1 minute. Gaurav, 1 minute. Gaurav and Rahul, both of you be quiet for a minute and understand where I am coming from, for God's sake. I am saying this clearly, with all the strength at my command, that you cannot have, even if today you have 545 MPs who support Baba Ramdev, that does not make him a Vedanta philosopher, for God's sake. There are people who are talking about the contribution of Aryabhatta. Baba Ramdev knows nothing about that. You are talking about the delineation of consciousness in Vedantic and Siddhantic traditions. Baba Ramdev does not know about that. When you talk about the philosophy of Sri Shankaracharya and its relevance to the present age, or the gist of Vedanta, Baba Ramdev does not know about that. So you cannot insult the culture of this country by saying, I will thrust Baba Ramdev on top of all of you, and then I'll talk about what is democracy and what is intolerance. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You cannot insult Indian culture by doing that. You cannot do that.
Let JNU expose Baba Ramdev.
There has to be a limit to trying to conform with
Let JNU challenge Baba Ramdev. Why are they not courageous enough to challenge him?
Please, for God, respect Indian culture.
Let JNU students have the courage to challenge Baba Ramdev.
Rahul,
if they want to challenge and expose Baba Ramdev, let them. But why show intolerance?
Please understand, this is... We are talking about what is Indian scholarship and philosophy, which Baba Ramdev unfortunately does not know about. He may know the asanas, he does not know the philosophy. You can't thrust him and put it on top and say,
then expose him. But
right
why boycott? Why ban?
Establishment. What do you mean, who is boycott? When you select a person for his scholarship, not for his politics.
This is not political. This is intolerance.
Santosh Mehrotra,
this is
where do you stand now?
From the left.
We've asked these questions. No, it is not intolerance, sir, from anyone.
Arnab.
I am on the issue of whether this man can hold his own in a debate on this subject. Let him prove his credentials and then come up. You will not take an undergraduate student to come and lecture to PhD students tomorrow. Similarly, you can't take Baba Ramdev and tell him to lecture and give a keynote speech on Vedanta to anyone. That's the point. He may fly private planes. He may have the biggest multi-thousand crore industry. He may be the most successful manufacturer of noodles. But he does not become a Vedanta philosopher. And anyone who has the slightest respect for Indian tradition will not try and make him a Vedanta expert. It doesn't matter which political philosophy they come from. Rahul Easwar, just shouting does not make you right on these issues. Let's look at the issue in depth.
Then expose.
We don't walk over Indian culture.
Expose Baba Ramdev by challenging him.
Why boycott and ban? Again, you're going on and on like a broken record.
Then expose by questioning. Expose by challenging.
Santosh Mehrotra. I pit my views against yours.
Why be intolerant?
I pit my views against yours. Like I said to the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, they don't represent my religion. I would say to Baba Ramdev that he cannot speak on Vedanta. Simple. End of matter.
Related point that I need
he can give yoga advice to film stars. He can make noodles, but he can't speak on Vedanta. Santosh Mehrotra, is domain knowledge not relevant, Santosh Mehrotra?
As I was saying at the beginning of the program, yes, I think the point you're making is absolutely spot on. I was making the same point at the very beginning. I questioned the judgment of those who invited Baba Ramdev in the first place, because I don't know him as a scholar of the Vedanta. But, you know, this is unfortunately a repetition of something which happened earlier on a few months ago within JNU, when the idea was floated that a course on Indian culture will be floated. Now, the course of Indian culture, after all, cannot be something that you question. You know, I would like to learn more about Indian culture if I'm being taught by scholars of Indian culture. However, when I looked at the reading list of the course material that was circulated to us, I found, you know, very important scholarly works in the subject of Indian culture seemed to be missing. And there were all kinds of other scholars of a sort of second or third rate kind. Now, this is the kind of mistake that is often made by the proponents of people who want to bring Ramdev or want to introduce Indian culture into a course in JNU. No one would dispute the case for having a course on Indian culture, provided there was scholarship underlying that. Then I would be sort of satisfied that I'm sitting in the presence of teachers who actually know their stuff. If, on the other hand, I'm being subjected to people who may or may not be sort of scholars on the subject, then, I'm not surprised that people question. So I began by saying that I question the wisdom of those who invited Baba Ramdev, but if he has now already been disinvited, I think the matter should rest there. Then the matter ends there.
Yeah, and there is a related point that I would like to make, Arnab,
some matter.
Few minutes.
Yeah, what's it? Shehla. Yes, please, Shehla.
Seen this game for long.
Yes, taking on from that, one second, Rahul.
Let Shehla speak, Rahul. Let Shehla speak. Let Shehla speak. No, this is not about leftists. This is not about left or right. It is about what is wrong or right. That's what it is.
It's
not always about politics, Rahul. Let Shehla speak. Let Shehla speak.
They are giving certificates.
No, please understand things with some depth. No, please, please, Rahul, please let Shehla speak.
In the open letter that I had sent to the administration, and all of our press releases and all of our communications with the administration, the last point that we have made very carefully is that we do take an anti-imperialist stance, and we do not place Western knowledge over Indian knowledge. And in JNU, we are taught all of this. We are taught sociology of knowledge. We are taught politics of knowledge, and how there is a Western hegemony over knowledge, be it Tibetan medicine, be it Indian medicine. And we do support, I want to reiterate it, we do support a genuine, rational inquiry into Indian science, into Indian culture. But things like this just make a mockery. You know, at the Indian Science Congress, what had happened was that people were allowed to take sessions saying that our ancestors used to fly vimanas to Mars, and they used to be so good at it because they drank goat's milk and cow's milk. Now, things like these actually make a mockery of the entire discipline of genuine rational inquiry into Indian culture, which is a very important part of our anti-imperialist stance. We do take that stance. Yes, local medicine, local knowledge, it should be studied. Why should it not be studied? But at the same time, in the name of that, we cannot bring anything and everything, anyone who brings a Putra Jivak Beej to ensure a male child somehow.
Arnab,
no, I think it is not just Gaurav. You need to understand. It is not only bizarre, it is slightly insulting that, you know, you're talking about a Vedanta tradition in which you're talking about what are the core beliefs of the Hindu faith. Now, Baba Ramdev says that the population of Hindus and Sikhs have declined and a particular community has increased. This imbalance creates social, economic and political conflict. That is what he says. This is a man who says Muslims should give up eating beef to honor the sentiments of Hindus. You can't call him for a Vedanta conference. This is a man who says that, you know, those who visit Dalit homes are there for honeymoons and picnics. You can't call him for a Vedanta conference. This is a man who says homosexuality can be cured by yoga. This is a man who carries out some business over some Putra Jivik Beej which lands in controversy because they are supposed to produce male childs. He's a man who says, I will have a treatment for mental retardation. The point which emerges is something this: why would a person who is not neither liberal, neither secular, neither open-minded, or neither a scholar be called to give a keynote? I mean, this is really remarkable that anyone ever thought of it. And Gaurav, you cannot say who decide what are qualifications. You need to be qualified. No. Without qualifications, you cannot come for any conference and give any speech. Just think about it. So when you go back to your campus, go and tell your ABVP friends that let us examine the matter in depth. It is not about our political views and whether we have the right to pummel our political views through. That's not the issue.
Arnab, this program
or whether we have more numbers or they have more numbers. Rationally
Arnab,
think
this program
about
was
it.
not organized by
Rationally
ABVP,
think
first
about
of all.
it.
Secondly, talking about the you are talking
now
about
you are trying to back off. So far you were supporting it, now you are trying to back off.
No, this is a program organized by Special Center for Sanskrit Studies. Let's have that in mind very clearly. And it was organized by JNU administration. It was not an ABVP program on the first thing. Secondly, you have talked about Putra Jivak or his opinion. See, we are not endorsing Ramdev Baba or Swami Ramdev's views on all these points. We are endorsing him as a worldwide acclaimed yogi. We are...
No, he is not. See, no, he is. No, 1 second. He is not expert on Vedanta. Period. Don't draw the link. No, don't do this.
He's a yogi.
Don't draw the link. Don't draw the link.
A yogi.
We are calling him as a yogi. You can tell him to talk about yogasans. You can't call him for Vedanta. So don't stretch the argument, Gaurav. You just got your argument wrong. When you get your argument wrong, it is better that you pull back. There was a mistake which was made. So you can't turn that around and say that we are now going to present ourselves as victims in this case. You're not. Baba Ramdev is not a victim in this case. Someone would have been a victim. I think the audience which would hear him talk about Vedanta philosophy, they would have been victims.
Arnab, I would like to take this opportunity to bring your attention. I would like to take this opportunity to bring to your attention that JNU is a university which has banned lots of things. It has banned. Please. It has banned the US ambassadors entry into JNU. It has banned Israel ambassadors entry into JNU. It has banned a course on foreign policy of Israel. Why are we not talking all those things? JNU has been banning lots of things. It has become highly intolerant.
1 second. And who are you? And who are you, Gaurav? Are you? No, 1 second. And Gaurav, who are you? Gaurav, are you the spokesperson for the government of Israel? No, are you the spokesperson for the government of Israel?
I am a student of School of International Studies of International Politics. I am a student of international politics. I am a student of international politics. And international politics without Israel, without United States is something incomplete.
I'm sorry.
Yes, foreign policy without Israel and without United States is incomplete. In academics, why cannot we be honest? Please.
I don't think you know the background of the School of International Studies. 1 second.
Arnab, I am a student. You cannot have foreign policy. You cannot understand foreign policy of without understanding Israel and United States.
Then be One second. Gaurav, 1 second. We all
is
know...
Gilani the most progressive man in India?
At the school of...
Is Gilani the most...
Mr. Gaurav, Rahul, will you take a break? Rahul, will you take a break? I'll tell you one thing. Rahul, let me tell you. In a Q&A session... One second. In a Q&A session in 2011, when the Iranian president came to JNU, he was slammed over his appalling human rights record in Iran. He was slammed for the arrests of scholars and intellectuals. He was slammed for his insensitive views on the Holocaust, his claims of wanting to wipe Israel off the map, and Iran's role in funding terrorism. So just to place the record very clearly to you, not as a comparison but as an opportunity, that you cannot say today that people in JNU are close-minded and the
But was he stopped?
He was slammed, but he was allowed.
No, the School of
We can condemn, we can criticize, but allow a person. Why are you not allowing a person to enter?
I think he was allowed.
Because he's not qualified to. He's not qualified for a keynote. That's the point. Get him on a debate.
Is Ambassador of United States not qualified to address JNU? Arnab is Ambassador of United States not eligible to address JNU on the subject of foreign policy?
Prasenjit, please. You cannot get Baba Ramdev through the back door on a Vedanta discussion. Period. You can't do that. Prasenjit.
Well, Prasenjit. I think that, it's a very simple point. I think that those who are refusing to see the point, one can't help. The point is very simple. I don't think the issue is about physically stopping Baba Ramdev or anybody else from coming and speaking in JNU. That is not the issue. If, the speakers who are in favor of getting Baba Ramdev to JNU, they should organize from ABVP or whichever other platform a program where Baba Ramdev comes and teaches yoga, cooks noodles, or whatever else Baba Ramdev wants to do, they can do. But here is a question of a certain academic institution, of an academic standard. The people in an academic program has to be practitioner of that craft. We want someone, and let us not delude ourselves that anybody and everybody in saffron robes do not automatically become experts in Vedantic philosophy or Hindu philosophy. Hindu religion, Hindu religious philosophy, Vedantic philosophy are matters of serious academic research. There are a lot of big scholars all over the world in different universities who teach that, who do research on the...
None of the big scholars have objected.
No, you can't just get anybody.
And scholarship
you just can't get anybody.
None of the scholars have objected.
Maybe people like Robin happen.
At this rate,
none of the scholars participating in this conference have objected. None of the scientists who are participating in this conference have objected to Swami Ramdev.
Don't shoot off their shoulder now. You see, I'll tell you, Gaurav, you got it very wrong this time.
The issue is someone objected and he has been disinvited by the organizers. Nobody went and physically stopped Baba Ramdev from coming. The organizers themselves have decided to disinvite Baba Ramdev. That is
Prasenjit, you have been evading my question for quite long. Prasenjit, you have been evading my question for quite long. I have been asking you about why foreign policy of Israel course banned in JNU. Nobody has answered yet.
Why are you stuck on foreign policy?
And by the way,
I'm pointing out that this is intolerance.
Why Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was shown black flag? Why President Abdul Kalam was entry into JNU was protested?
Why you point out that this is intolerance?
But you're not allowing
to understand anything.
You are not even allowing ambassadors to come to our campus.
Gaurav, 1 second. Gaurav, you're losing. Gaurav, you're missing the point.
America is funding wars in India and Pakistan, forcing them to buy nuclear weapons. Why are you so interested in having...
Shehla. No, Shehla, that's the point that you're making. My question is, why are you repeatedly talking about the ambassador of the United States? Is the ambassador of the United States writing a letter?
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, these are war-mongering.
Saying that I'm sorry, I need to. Then let the is the ambassador of United States an authority or international?
Or no, I think there is a differentiation.
First of all, the ambassador of Israel came to JNU.
Differentiation needs to be made.
The ambassador of Israel came to JNU. There was a protest by students outside the convention center. Okay, he was allowed to speak. Students listened to him. There was a protest outside the convention center by students.
And next year the course was dropped.
Upon inviting Israel.
And next year the course was dropped. The next year course on foreign policy of Israel was dropped.
Why are you so interested only about America and Israel? Why don't you talk about? You've been stuck for the past 1 hour on America and Israel. Why don't you talk about other things?
I want to understand.
It's about intolerance. It's not about Israel or US.
They came very much to JNU. The students protested.
It's about intolerance. It's about intolerance.
Intolerance is the point.
Gaurav.
No,
We are not allowing one kind of people to
Who are we
speak.
to allow? Manmohan Singh
We are
came
not
to
allowing
JNU.
one type of people to enter the
Pranab
campus.
Mukherjee came to JNU. Students protested outside it.
Yeah, Prasenjit, please continue.
Right.
Prasenjit,
yeah, my point
please.
is that you see,
let me.
You have to define intolerance. Hey, you shut up, you Rahul Easwar. Always you are disturbing when I am speaking. My point.
1 minute, please. No, nothing personal, please. Prasenjit, Rahul Easwar, please. No personal.
Why is he
quarrel from the
disrupting?
news,
Oh,
please.
whenever I want to
Yeah,
speak,
go
he
on.
is disrupting.
That's all right.
I didn't
but
speak at
don't
all.
get personal.
They are two different issues.
I didn't
They are
speak
two
at all.
different issues. They are two different issues.
See, this is intolerance.
That number one is that if anybody
Rahul, you're not
comes,
being able to defend your argument.
there is a right to peacefully protest. You can always peacefully protest against someone whom you disagree with. There is nothing wrong with a peaceful protest. So if the Israeli ambassador comes, if an American ambassador comes,
They were
or
not
whoever
allowed.
else such person comes, those who are aggrieved, they can go and peacefully protest. Nobody has
One
the
line.
right to impose
Nobody
their
allowed
will
them
on
inside.
anybody else. That is point number one.
You
Point number
correct
two
your
is
facts,
that
though.
whether a university department can invite someone who is not a practitioner of that craft, who does not have any fundamental academic contribution to make in that particular academic discipline. That is a matter of academic propriety. So there are two different issues here. Let us not mix it all up. There is a right for
Counter.
protest if somebody comes.
Counter. One line.
No, Gaurav
Arnabji,
Jha
one line.
facts wrong. I don't think he
Last
was paying
counter, last
attention to
counter,
student politics
last
at
counter.
that
One line.
time.
Arnabji,
The-
one
Last counter
line.
by Rahul, and then
One
we're
line.
closing this debate.
Arnabji, one line. Arnabji,
Yeah.
even when I was not speaking, Prasenjit aggressively telling me to shut up, shutting out another person. Let people decide what is intolerance. This is the intolerance leftist has been directly
something?
and indirectly
You
doing.
see, Rahul-
People of
Rahul
this
Easwar-
nation saw this and they have been
Rahul
shut down.
Easwar-
We will see in future that they are being
Rahul
thrown
Easwar-
into the dustbins of history.
Rahul, that does not make your attempts to present yourself like a victim, like Baba Ramdev is also trying to do, does not make Baba Ramdev an expert on Vedanta. That is the point. QED will take this debate forward, and we welcome Baba Ramdev on the Newshour. I would also like to ask him a few questions on since when did he become a great expert on Vedanta. The whole country wants to know. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.
And noodles.